whereas the YouTube side is just very turtle-like.
Welcome to another episode of Dungeons and Dragons Delayed by us here at the Mischief. So yeah, sorry folks, technical difficulties, the life of people streaming. So hey, as you notice, Lissa and Mr. Monkey, aka Natea and Smoke, their camera will be out today. We are just happy that they're able to join us, so they will be on microphone only. But otherwise, welcome to an episode of Dungeons and Dragons Waterdeep Dragon Heist, where I try and kill all the players. So,
No.
let's
Not how it goes. We only just made level 2, man. Come on.
Yeah.
let's start off with some introductions. We'll start off at the top left with Kashka.
Oh, hey. I'm Kashka. I'm playing Graffola. I am a deep gnome warlock. Level 2!
Woo, woo. All right, and next to her we have off camera. We've got Lissa and Mr. Monkey.
I am playing Natea Cloudbane. I'm an Asmar Paladin, level 2, yay! And then we have this one next to me.
I'm playing Smoke on the Horizon, a level 2 Tabaxi Rogue, and I have on no pants.
That's beautiful,
I don't know
man.
if that's like an IRL statement or statements about smoke.
Really committed to D&D when you play with no pants.
It could be either or.
That's why we were playing with no camera.
All
No
right.
camera, no pants. Those
I
are the
missed
rules.
that memo. No pants.
Oh, that purr. Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
That's what
He
happens
wants to
when I
sniff
take
the
my
mic.
pants
I don't
off.
know what that's about.
And next to them we have Robin.
Vern Riker, Human Ranger, and also the medic.
Self-proclaimed medic, yes.
Hey, how many times have I helped the group?
And then I myself am the Dungeon Master / Game Master, Valen. And I'm also showing you my view, so please try not to spoil too much for the players, if at all possible, because they may see chat. As you see there, Robin has waved hi in chat and stuff like that. It's not too surprising that they'd be able to do that. And actually, I'm going to do a little something. It's going to look a little funky for a second here, but I'm going to try and add in some temporary. There we go. Perfect. And let's see if I can add one more image here for the people at home. Where is Natea? There we go. So what I'm going to do here is adjust things on the fly so that we can see these two. Yeah, it's going to be great. So we can have something in place for them. Don't worry, Robin. You'll be seen. It's just going to be a little temporary. I just need to drop you guys behind the layer that you're at. There we go.
Just seeing chat just makes me really curious about what you're doing, but I can't because it's against the rules.
Oh crap! I can't do that. I can move him over. Crap. I need to find your frame now, Robin. Hold on, because what I'm doing is basically I'm moving. Let's move you up.
Wow.
There we go. Perfect. Now we've got visual representations of their characters, at least, instead of like the little monkey icon.
So just to confirm,
Yes,
I'm not lost, but I'm found.
you are found. You're not
Okay.
lost whatsoever. All right. So, when last we left off, our famed group of Volos Thumpers had decided that they were going to
I don't like that name.
I know. Actually, find and rescue Floon Blagmar, who they were hired to rescue many hours, days ago. I don't know. It seems like many weeks ago, but hey. And they were finally able to find him in the sewers, in, of all places, a Xanathar Guild hideout. But only after first going through a Zentarum Guild hideout, which had been attacked by a Xanathar Guild. They had, along the way, grabbed along Rainer Neverember here, which I will zoom in on the party a bit. Give me a second here to actually get up to the party. Who is similar looking to Floon, though they didn't actually have an icon for him. So just assume that they look almost identical. But the difference is Rainer is kind of like a prince of sorts, who actually doesn't have any title to the throne anymore. And Floon is kind of like a bit of a floozy. So, but they're nonetheless... Rainer was rescued as he was thought to be Floon, and came along for the ride because he owed his life to this group for saving him. And now they're currently on their way out of this guild hideout, coming up through a cellar into a halfling's home. So, what all did you want to do? We're not in initiative order right now, so you guys just tell me what you're up for. You're in the cellar. He was just walking out, and there was halflings all agape at having tea and crumpets, I'll say. So what y'all want to do?
Gonna run out. It's okay. It's okay. We're not here to harm you.
I might.
You're not helping.
Well, right now they're all just very surprised that people are coming out of their cellar. They're like, "What are you doing at our house? Don't hurt us! Oh gosh! Please, just take what you want. What we."
Don't take my smoke.
They look like your average common folk halflings living in a house, and they're being, just scared out of their wits, is what they look like at this point. I mean, imagine if you saw a 6-foot tall kitty cat with daggers coming out of your basement.
6'8",
True.
sir.
6 foot, all right, an over 6 foot, and you're a halfling, no less. So,
Yeah, they stop counting at 6 feet, don't they?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess because we're all probably pretty well. I'm not crouched over, but he definitely is. So we're just gonna push him through and be like, so sorry, we got lost and we don't know how we ended up here. I'm gonna pull let's see, what do I have in my pouch? I'm gonna pull one of these gold pieces out of my pocket and just hand it to the first halfling I see and tell him, "We're so sorry. Don't tell anybody."
Well, you'll probably notice that there's like an older, fatherly-looking one. There's a younger daughter and what would appear to be a wife of this character, and the one that walks that is like kind of like they're all like halfway hiding under a table at this point, which is more like if you guys had walked into an elementary school and all the tables are slightly lower. That's kind of how this table was set up for them. And it's not like out in their normal area. It's like in this little nook, like a breakfast nook of sorts. But he kind of comes away and says, "You got lost? How did you get in here?"
It's a really long story, and in case you didn't notice, we don't smell the greatest. Yeah.
He can, and upon you saying that, his face does actually change to, "Yeah, you're right."
Can I get a clean, damp rag or 3, please?
He says, "Well, if you could, we'll be glad to help out. If you don't, if you mean no harm, I just don't know how you got in our home."
You have a secret door in your cellar. I found it.
And he just like kind of looks aghast, and the wife kind of like just smacks him in the chest and says, "Edgar, come on!" And he goes, "Oh, right. Manners." And he like claps his hands, and everybody starts like getting some like cloth and some water and stuff like that. And they're like, "Sorry for being so insincere." And he like, while he's like getting you guys cloth and something to wash up with and stuff, at least something to dab yourself so you're not trailing all over their floor. He, in the process of doing this, takes the gold coin that was offered and just puts it in his breast pocket and doesn't say a thing about it.
You want to show you the way where the hole is?
Yeah, you want us to cover that or block it off? Because there's some gross things down there that might want to come up. There was this big gelatinous thing. I don't. Yeah.
There was an ood. It's sweet.
He says, "Well, is the door closed now?"
It can be.
If you wouldn't mind, and just put a cask on it for the moment or something, or in front of it, or I don't know if it's in the floor wall, or hopefully not in the ceiling. But it's not magical door, is it?
No, it just goes to the sewer. You don't want to go down there, though. There's bad things.
Well,
Rats that nibble on halfling toes. I mean, look at this halfling. She almost got part of her toes nibbled.
Well, I'll have the Builders Guild look into it and see if I can have them seal that up for good. I don't want that there.
I'm just
I'll
kind of
go down.
reaching like a sewer-covered hand out, helping myself to a crumpet while all this chat is going on.
I'll look at them. I said, though she looks like a gnome, she was a halfling. This giant rat ate part of her legs off, and I'll go downstairs and just start moving things.
Grifola, as you reach for the crumpet, you notice it's not just the three of them. There's a fourth one. Behind the table, you see just like this little eyes that could barely see, just cresting over the table. And then peeps back down.
When I see those eyes, I just stick my tongue out.
That's when she drops her head.
I'm just looking at Grifola, kind of in the hole. She really is doing that, as well as the whole disgust of her actually, eating after being in the sewer and the water.
Crumpets, they're amazing.
He says, "Well, where are my manners? I'm Edgar Peabody. At your service. Please come in. You're in horrid shape. We'll see what we can do to try and get you at least reasonable, so that you can."
I don't suppose you have a bath, do you?
No, we use the local bathy. We're not quite that fortunate. You notice that the place is rather small, after all, and not just because they're halflings. It would appear that they just live in a very small place. It's like maybe 3-4 rooms, but they're all very, very tiny rooms. It's like one big room was just a few really thin walls were put up to separate it. They live very humbly, but seemingly comfortably.
I don't know. I just don't want to have to lick the sewer off of me.
He says, "Well, we tend to run a pub in the area, but this is why we've got the kegs down there. This just goes out to a pub. You're welcome to exit through and tend to the local bathy. I'm sure if you talk to Barty Bathy, he wouldn't mind trying to get you clean. Though if you're going today, I'll be sure maybe I'll attend in a few days to the bathy."
Just to confirm, the guy's name is Barty Bathy?
Yes.
Is that a joke for bird bath?
No. He runs the bathy. That's why it's
No,
often.
That was out of character.
No, okay.
What is the
No.
bath?
What's that?
I'm just wittering. But I do ask him, you sure you didn't know about that door? And I'm kind of watching him really closely to see if he gives any kind of if he makes eye contact with me when he replies, if there's any kind of signs of
he's still hesitant to leave his family amongst strangers, but you guys seem to be acting more friendly at this point. He says, "Well, if you'd show me where it is, I'd be glad to take a look. I don't recall one down there before, and we've stored our casks down there." And you can see that it's pretty much a straight line from the cellar door out to another door through this area. And it's actually got a wheeled path and stuff. But the door that you guys came up through just now is an obvious one. The one that you guys came up through before was actually a flagstone that was set in the floor, like the opposite side.
Yeah. Okay.
So did you want to do an insight check?
Yeah, I mean, is he believable? Do I notice any signs of, him lying to me?
Give a roll.
I see pug mug.
Do a roll.
Fancy pug mug.
Do a roll. Insight check. This is gonna be awful because I have a.
That's pretty good.
Not
Nice.
So he asks you to show him, where it is. Do you point it out?
Moving casks around.
Yeah, I swipe another crumpet on the way down the stairs and, and show him where the flagstone was.
He's, as far as you're able to tell, he seems genuine in his astonishment. He says, "So it was one of the flagstones then in the floor." Oh, good gracious! And he starts looking at the walls, and every brick to him suddenly seems like it's got some untold, giant, 6'8" cat hybrid humanoid hiding behind it. So he feels very insecure just looking at the walls all of a sudden, wondering, and you can see he's actually putting his hands on some of the stonework of the wall itself, and he's just kind of worried now that there's going to be all sorts of travelers coming into his home.
No worries. Just keep a lot of heavy stuff on this particular one, and just put a couple of heavy flasks on it and casks on it, and then no worries. Just keep heavy stuff on it, and you won't have to worry about nothing coming.
He says, "Well, I'll be sure to have the Builders Guild come in first thing in the morning and fill it in or whatever. I don't know what it's going to be involved. I can barely move one of those casks myself, so I'll definitely be seeking some assistance. But I swear we'll have it sealed."
No,
yeah, you should.
Oh, while he's talking, I'm gonna kind of take a look at the casks. Do they have any kind of labeling on them or any sign of what they contain?
They seem to have a few different kind of X's on them, and then they've got a crude dating mechanism of some sort.
I say, is this some moonshine you have here in your cellar there, Mr. Peabody?
He says, "No, this is just the extra ale stock that we have. It's just things that we supply regularly in the bar front."
And just confirm, where's the cat?
In the common area, alone with the children.
Okay,
the mother is there too, and she's making sure to stand between anybody and the kids, of course. And the older daughter seems to just be really wide-eyed and just taking in everything. This is amazing and scary at the same time. This is awesome. And the mother is looking a bit grumpy, but at the same time wanting to give off a good impression.
I realize the cat's not with everyone else in the cellar. Rush up and kind of push him out the door.
At this point, Raynor and Floon both try and make their way from the cellar into the area and say, "Oh, looks like we lost Robin for a sec. There we go. Would you mind if we took advantage of those rags for a moment there?" And at that, the Edgar takes a step back and goes, "Oh, goodness gracious!" And he kind of does this bit of a curtsy and a bit of a fluster with his hands, and the rest of the family, except for the littlest, all do this quick curtsy and bow, seeing the father do the same. And they're like, your Majesty." He goes, "Oh, stop that! I'm no one's Majesty, but thank you very much for your kindness, sir." So
I just shake my head. I'm like, Raynor, we can't take you anywhere.
He says, "Indeed, and I think it'd be best if we got Floon back as quickly as possible at this point. I'm sure he's just happy to be breathing a little bit fresher of air than he had before."
Yeah, I think we all are. We should get cleaned up the best we can, because we kind of really shouldn't go out on the streets like this.
Sure.
I mean, we already stand out as is, but
Well, actually, the mother kind of like starts glancing at her oldest daughter, and says, "Meline," and she goes, yes, mother." She goes, "Go ahead and show them what you've learned." She goes, "Can I?" She goes, "Go on then." And she goes, I can clean you off. And she starts like clapping and jumping up and down. And she looks like she's waiting for permission from you guys.
I push Smoke in front of everybody. Here, him first.
So she does like this little hand waving thing, and she looks like she's really focusing hard. And she's basically doing prestidigitation. But for her, she's kind of an adolescent. She hasn't developed it yet, and she's just kind of like really focusing. And you're basically getting like this cleaning, all the stench and the soil and stuff is just like kind of like evaporating into the air, and it doesn't smell anymore. It's just disappearing, and she's cleaning it off you quite well, actually. And it seems like, I have to say, Smoke, it feels like she might also be trying to pet you a little bit too at the same time. With the prestidigitation.
Oh my.
Just like on the head a little bit, because kitty.
Okay, gotta leave that alone as well.
Yeah.
Fallon dropping all the innuendos.
I wasn't dropping any. You guys are making them up. So, she finishes cleaning up, and Smoke is actually relatively clean. He looks a little bit blow dried as well, like he's a little bit poofy here and there, but not bad.
Got my floof.
I'll point to the floor. I'm gonna go curl up over there and let the little one, just because we're in their house, just entertain them.
Okay. But not the belly or the tail.
So the little girl, you start hearing like squealing in glee at this, the youngest, and the adolescent Meline seems to be saying that she's like looking over at Unitea and saying, "Miss, would you like me to clean you off next?"
Yes, I would.
Wait, are you sure you don't want to clean off Griffola first?
She's fine. She likes the filth. Look at her. She's so happy at eating those filthy scones.
But everything you touch
I'm like mid crumpet bite. What?
All right, so she does the same thing. She pretty much cleans you off pretty good. You don't feel the petting that Smoke felt on his head, and in fact, your armor looks like it hasn't been quite this well polished in some time. It kind of shines a little bit more than you've last remembered it shining. She did a really good job. And she proceeds to ask each person if they want to be cleaned, and if so, then she takes care of them. So, anybody not wanting to be cleaned?
Nope, I will, when it's my turn, I sit down in front of her, like sit down cross-legged, kind of like put my arms out, like, I take my hair out of the toggles or whatever, and like just sit there waiting for the clean.
Okay. And she starts with you, and no, actually, is there anybody that doesn't want to be cleaned? Okay. So she starts with you, and then partway down she goes, "Oh, I think there's a dead bird. We've got a. You could put it in the trash bin with.
No.
Dad'll take it later."
That is so rude.
Robin, I'd like you to make an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
Not a save, a check. So just click on. Okay. So a lot of people click on save.
Even if I don't show it.
Okay. Never mind then. And I don't know why this just popped up on here. That's great. So yeah, what do you do about the bird? that she thinks is dead just under your jacket.
I say to her, I just say to her, I say, she's not dead. Look. And I kind of like hold Nell out a little bit and show her that Nell is still breathing, you know.
Yeah,
So,
and Nell's
she's not
just
dead.
breathing, and she looks pretty ragged, actually. She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is the birdie okay?
She will be.
Oh,
She just needs some rest,
do you want me to
like me.
do you want me to clean her?"
Um,
She looks really fidgety and unsure.
Maybe I'll clean Nell.
Oh,
You
okay,
clean me,
okay,
I'll clean Nell.
okay.
Alright?
All right. And she starts like cleaning you off, and you're good to go.
When she's done cleaning me off, I take out of my little pack. I take a little pouch of the powdered mushrooms that I've got, and I give it to her, and I say, "Thank you very much."
What did you give her?
I have like some powdered mushrooms.
Powdered mushrooms.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll walk over to Griffola while she was showing her the bird, and I'll just touch it, and I'll heal her.
How much?
1 HP.
All right, Griffola. Nell is fully healed.
I show. Wait, what's the girl's name? Melanie?
Meline.
Meline. Sorry. I show Meline. See, fine. And I start like kind of trying to clean her off myself.
Mm-hmm.
When I do that, my eyes glow a little bit because they're already silver, so they kind of just shine a little brighter whenever I do.
Very cool.
All right. And Edgar continues while all the cleaning is going on and stuff, and says, forgive me for not doing introductions earlier. I'm Edgar Peabody. I run the pub up front, the Peabody pub, and Meline here, who is the one who's helping you, obviously, and we've got Hazel, my pride and joy, and he shows, points to a woman who you can only assume is the mother and or his wife, and of course back there, and he looks really kind of proud, because that's Maureen.
Is Maureen the littlest?
Yes.
Okay.
And she,
Slow
you
tab
hear a little
bows
giggle,
already.
and the head disappears again.
Oh, what was that?
Sorry.
I'm waiting for Smoke to have bows on him and stuff like that. from the little-
She's more been focused on just giving belly rubs.
Not the belly.
Because she's all about giving the tickles if she can, so. She is really tiny compared to you. It's like you're playing with a kitten yourself. All right, so everybody's cleaned off. Rainer thanks everybody a lot and says that he might revisit them at some point in the future, and it'd be nice, thank you for being so kind to such strangers to pop up from your basement. It must have been quite alarming, etc. And he's just going on with the normal chit chat and stuff. Floon just seems to still be like, just harrowed experience. He seems like he's almost reached a mental break at one point, and he's trying to recover from that.
He said, Flume, maybe we should stop by the pub. Get a little liquid, libation kind of bring it down a notch.
Think you might have flashbacks from, being kidnapped from a pub. Outside of a pub.
Well,
Yawning Portal has drinks and money. Just my suggestion.
Edgar says, the pub's not open right now, but I have some. It's a bit early because you realize now that it's probably the wee hours of the morning, and why they were having tea and crumpets. This was them nibbling at their breakfast early on before Dad goes out to work and when Mom goes out to work or whatever. But he says, I might be able to make you a little something that could help at least calm your nerves. And he says, Hazel, would you get me that little canteen? Yes, thank you. And you see him, he starts like waving his hand over stuff, and he pours a little bit of like some clear liquid into like a little, not a cask, but like a, you know, one of those little liquor canisters you put in your pocket. Somebody help me out here. I can't. A flask, yes, not a cask, a flask. He actually gets a flask and he starts pouring a liquid in it, and he like starts saying some words over it, and he hands it to Floon, and you can see that there's actual steam coming up from it. And he says, "This should help settle your nerves and kind of, you know, give you a bit of ease at the same time." And Floon goes, "Thank you very much." And he looks at Floon and sees him, and Floon's still doing a little bit of a shake, and he takes a bit of some of the bread that's on the table as well, and he puts it in his hand and says, "Here, you'll probably want a little bit of sustenance with you as well, my good man. You look like you've been through a bit." And Floon takes a swig, and he kind of like, "Thank you very much." And for those close to him, anybody that wants to can make a perception check to try and figure out what it is that he might be drinking.
I wanna.
Okay.
Sure. Perception.
And just to confirm, around how many hours were we down there?
Several, because of trying to find the place took you many hours wandering around through the sewer. So you guys were caked with many hours of sewage.
I'm wondering just so my how much oil, oil I have left.
I believe you used, we'll just say you used up one canister.
Okay.
All right, so...
And I make sure I turn it off quickly right now.
Robin and Lissa, or Mr. Monkey, whoever was making that, I'm guessing it was Lissa.
I think that was Mr. Monkey.
It just smells like there's some alcohol. You might be able to catch off of that. Whereas Griffola, you probably think it was a hot toddy.
All right. I give like a little nod of approval. Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess we should go and try to head to the yawning portal and get some rest and money and information and all that other stuff.
Very well. Okay. The exit is just this way, straight through, and you'll see the exit door. Oh, actually, silly me, I haven't unlocked the door yet. Let me get out there and help you out there. And he just like hustles out in front of you and opens up the exterior door to the pub so you guys can exit through. Not that it was difficult because the latch was on your side, but he feels, you know, you're guests, and he's letting you out of his locked house, you know.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So you've
Make sure smoke is ahead of me.
So you've just left the Peabody pub. And I think, let's see. That was not the right place. That was a different place. It was, what was the section? This was Q9. Sorry, I got to look up the details on this and just see if there's anything else. Yeah, which actually, they had what looked like their home was like attached to the back of a pub. And it looks like once you're outside, you don't see it. You'd probably have to go around back. But it actually turns out that where you're at right now, because he gives you a general idea of where you are and where you need to go to get to the yawning portal. It looks like their house is like this kind of small wooden building tacked onto the side of a stone building pub. So they're living in the little wooden extension on the back of it. That's what it looks like. All right. And actually, let's take you guys to the map of Waterdeep. Hui. And click there. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. I can show you where you actually came out. So you know where down in the dockward, in the southern area, there was a
Castle or yawning.
a rectangle, basically
There it is.
here, that you guys did a lot of activity in and so on. The Peabodys, let's see if I can actually do this. GM info. We're right. Token layer. There. Just south of it.
We
Right,
traveled a
right
really
here.
far distance.
Yeah, considering you guys entered up here, that is quite a distance that you traveled. But yeah, you were down there for many hours, twisting and turning in all sorts of sewers. So yeah, congratulations! It is now morning. You made it out. The sun feels good on your face. Even Griffola, you just feel good because you're not in the sewer anymore.
I'm pretty sure she wasn't that bad off in the sores.
Well, the darkness didn't affect her. It was more the stench, I would assume.
She was eating crumpets.
She was hungry.
And, extra added flavor, who knows?
Exactly. I'm pretty sure the source did not affect her badly compared to anyone else.
Oh, food poisoning, Fine.
All right.
Maybe-
Alright, I guess we start heading towards the yawning portal.
Yeah. Which pretty much just straight up down Soothsayer's Way and Yawning Portal.
Okay.
So we're going on the main road?
Yeah. That was pretty much what you were told, at least. Just go out to here. Yeah, you're there. And then straight up and take a left at Soothsayer's and you're there. The Yawning Portal. All right, so let's actually see if we can go back. Do I still have this set up? I think we kind of do. Let's bring you guys over. I still have dead things on this map. At least on my map. Can I close this?
That things are all there.
Yep.
All right, our own makeshift Yawning Portal that we have here. So you guys have returned, and pretty much are all exhausted because you pretty much trudged through the night. You've been doing this cold sewage water, the whole experience. You guys get there, and Bonnie is there because it's early morning, and she says, "Oh, welcome to the Yawning Portal." "Oh, hi guys," and she just kind of like says, "Oh, hello, sir," and she kind of like does like a little curtsy for Rainer, as she usually does. And what do you guys do? It seems to be fairly empty this early in the morning, or at least not much activity. There's like a couple people. You don't see Volo.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay. So if I look around and I don't see Volo, I'm just going to... Wait, do we have rooms here or no? I can't remember.
I was questioning that same thing.
Well, Rainer had said that he can procure your guys' rooms for now if needs be.
Actually,
will
we
take
slept
them.
here the one time, I
Yep,
think.
he paid for your night, and he easily can get credit if need be.
I would like to sleep.
Okay. He says that,
Yeah.
and he would make a suggestion. He says, "Well, since Volo is not at hand," and he talks to Bonnie and says, "Would you mind leaving a message for him that we've recovered and we'll be back down this evening, and to wait for us here?" And she said, "Oh, certainly. I think he'll be back in just a few hours, so I'll be sure to give it to him straight away, sir." And she says, "Would you like to start up a tab?" And he says, "Yes, please. That would be ever so kind. I'll be sure to have my people get with you shortly." And she goes, "Oh, thank you, sir." And so then she scribbles some notes down in like a notebook, and then it starts handing out keys to people, and pretty much everybody has a room that wants one. It is an average room, and
Wait, just to confirm, is the cat alone?
No, I always hang with Mateo.
So therefore, the only exception would be that Rainer would ask to have a double bed, or two double beds in the same room, so that he can stay with Floon for now. And Floon would be perfectly fine with that, like he was expecting it. But
Why don't y'all just get a king? Save a little cat.
all right. So,
Everybody get some rest, and then we'll meet back up.
yep. You guys have a long rest then.
I'm totally shipping Rainer and Flume.
You're totally whatting? Shipping?
Friends with
Hopefully
benefits.
most people get it.
Mm.
Okay, so we get a long rest though.
Yes, everybody's able to recover all of your health, all of your spells, all of your abilities.
Don't recover health, but I get my spells. Yay.
Yay!
Very cool.
And thank you, Venyan Live, for hosting us. So, we have come to the early evening, late afternoon. I will just say late afternoon, because you guys came in early morning. So it's late afternoon. It's almost dinner time, but past lunchtime. So, kind of maybe 2, 3 o'clock, something like that, when you all start waking up because you've all had a knock at the door saying, this is your wake-up call. Mr. Volothamp is downstairs waiting you when you're ready.
Not ready.
Okay. Gets up and starts prepping his stuff.
Sleep.
All right. So, what are any of you staying sleeping, or are you coming downstairs?
I'll come down.
We're going downstairs.
All right. So, upon all of you coming down, you see Volo. You don't see Rainer and Floon yet, but Volo nonetheless looks happy to see you all. Says, "Oh, I'm so happy. I Bonnie delivered your message saying that Floon is safe. Do you have him now, or I don't think he's come down yet."
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's come down. He's with Rainer.
They're probably still sleeping.
And as you're saying that, Rainer is actually coming downstairs with Floon, and it looks like he's kind of like helping Floon down the stairs. Like he's still a little bit, I don't know, off about the whole the whole experience. You're not sure if he's playing it up yet, a bit at this point, but either way, he seems to be enjoying the attention. So
Yeah, I think he got a little bit mind screwed by Mind Flare, if you know what I mean.
Volo actually doesn't hear you say that. He sees Floon and just goes, "Oh, Floon, you're safe!" And he like kind of runs up the stairs and gives him a big hug, and he sees Rainer and gives him like a really firm and excited handshake and stuff, and Rainer like kind of pats him on the shoulder and takes his hand back at the same time very happily, and then Volo turns around and I don't know if all of you are willing or not, but if you will allow him to, he will happily start like going around giving everybody hugs with how happy he is.
I'm just like, it's okay. I just hold my hand out. It's
All right.
I'll just go with
I
it.
take my hugs in gold.
What's that?
I take my hugs in gold. Thank you.
He says, right, your payment. And
Hug him.
he says, "Come, let's come have a seat down at the table then." And he's like pulling a chair out for Floon and having him sit down. And he's just so happy to see that his friend is alive and well, not missing any limbs or anything. And many worse fates have fallen people here in Waterdeep. But he says, "So," and he kind of gets this look on his face. "I confess that I have but a few coins to spare, but," and he holds up his finger and says, "Never let it be said that Volo reneges on a promise. Allow me to present something much more valuable. He holds out a scroll
Give
tube
me
in his
your
hand.
book.
He
I'm
holds
gonna
out a scroll tube. It says, "The deed to a remarkable property here in Waterdeep." And he sets it down in the middle of the table. "We'll need a magistrate to witness the transfer of ownership. I'll arrange a meeting with one after you've inspected the estate and deemed it satisfactory, of course. But it is well worth many times more than the amount that I promised you." He seems a little bit embarrassed, but at the same
I
time...
may stab him.
What's that?
I don't want a bridge. I may stab him. I don't want a bridge.
I still didn't hear you. You cut out.
I may stab him. Hideo.
You may stab him.
I think stabbing is under consideration.
You too.
Do you
Just
say
give them the dead eye.
Do you say that out loud to him?
I say it to Natea.
Oh, okay. He probably would have heard that and kind of seems taken aback and like, "Good sir, I intend on paying on this debt, and if you would check out the contents, you'll find that it is worth many times more than what we have arranged."
Oh, can I see it?
I say.
What's that?
I say we can just sell it.
We should go check it out first, and we can see what the value is.
I bet it's haunted.
And
You would love that.
Excellent.
who knows what it holds, and we'll go check it out and see if it's good. We'll go from there.
Right. I mean, that is the idea. I want you to be confident with the with the place that I once upon a time purchased before making part with it, you know. And for any that are curious about it, you know, you can make an insight check to see things. Otherwise, we'll just move on.
Yeah, I'll make one.
I'm good, bud. Okay, Smoke, hand over the daggers and every other thing sharp on you.
Smoke wants to make one.
All right, Smoke. You're not sure what to make of it. It seems pretty much what I've told you, but you think that it would definitely deem worth checking out before you commit to anything. Now, Lissa, it seems he's more embarrassed and sad at the fact that he has to give up this place to pay the debt, but at the same time very pleased with the results of your guys returning him. He seems genuine in as well as you can tell.
I look at everybody and I look at him, and I'm like, "Look, I tell you what, we can probably work something out, and you won't have to lose this because you don't look like you really want to lose this property. So we might be able to work something out on top of maybe some other kind of payment or arrangements. Maybe you can let us stay there while we're here adventuring to store goods, etc.
How much does it cost to stay at an inn?
Depends on the inn.
Okay, so how much does it cost to stay at the Yawning Portal?
The Yawning Portal, I believe it was probably a gold a night.
Yeah, I think so.
Per person, so...
Yeah. Per bed.
So what we can do, Mr. Volo, is we can go inspect your property. We'll look around, and if you're willing, we can be co-owners with you on this property, and that will make everybody happy, and you still won't lose your property.
He seems a bit flabbergasted by it and says, "Well, I don't know what to say. Either way, let's have a look at the place." And he says, "Here, take this," and he kind of like pushes the tube forward and says, "It's for Troll Skull Manor. It was once it's had quite a history in time, but it's over in the northward, and it should. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. perhaps you'll want to restore it. I mean, it's not in the best of shape, I will say, but it is...
You're not really doing a good job selling it to us here, fella.
Well, keep in mind that any buildings in Waterdeep are probably really pricey and very difficult to come by because of the compactness of the populace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll put the scroll in my pouch. And I'll say, well, do you want to accompany us to go look at this place?
He says, actually, if you don't mind, I would prefer to stay and catch up with Floon and see how he's doing. You're more than welcome to inspect the property. And he says, here. And he said, I forgot to put this in the case. And he hands you a set of keys for it.
Okay, I'll take them and put them in the pouch as well.
Just to confirm, when was the last time you were there?
He says, actually, it was a few weeks ago, and I was working on my other book. But it was purchased at auction not long since. Beat out some other fellow, seemed very, very intent on getting the property, but nonetheless, I was able to outbid him at the time. Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that I didn't write his name down. I hadn't expected you to ask just yet. So hold on. I think it's in this chapter here.
Oh, he has a chapter name.
Oh, there's lots of chapters. There are so many chapters.
And if you look at Vern, you notice that he's not really doesn't have anything other than his basic clothes on, so he runs up to the room to gather his equipment.
I'm gonna stroll over to the bar. Is Durnan? I guess Durnan's work.
Durnan is on duty now. Yes.
Okay, I want to ask him. Hey, Durnan, can I ask you? You know about things around here, homes and manors and whatnot, right? You've been here a while.
He says, I've been here a while. And that's all he says.
Do you know anything about a place called Troll Skull Manor?
Nope.
You're a real helpful one, Durnan.
Durnan's never been much of one for words.
Okay.
Now,
If we find a troll, we'll send him your way.
upon you saying these things, though, Raynor says, I might be able to help you.
Of course, I forget the rich boy would be able to help. Okay, what do you know about Troll Skull Manor, or information on or anywhere we can go find information on it before we?
Well,
and what about the Northwood also?
The Northwood? Oh, Northward. Sorry,
Northward. Sorry.
My bad. Let's go back to the map. Actually, I'm gonna take you guys back there.
So, two things. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic. Who's glowing in these parts?
I just realized that Gary actually has poo water and is dead.
He does have poo water. Someone killed him. I don't know what. It wasn't me. But the Northwood, as Raynor says, is it's actually not a bad neighborhood. It's rather upscale a bit. It's a upper middle class for the most part. Seems to be a solid area. What was your other question there?
What do you know about the Troll Skull Manor, or do you know where we can find information before heading there?
He says, well, I don't know anything about the manor itself. I think Troll Skull Alley, I might have been there before. I have dealt with some real estate in the past. I might be able to at least accompany you to give you an idea of what this place is worth if you have an interest, or if it's at least worth what... And he looks at Volo, who is deep in conversation with Floon at this point, ignoring everything that's being said. Says, yes, actually, would you mind if I joined you? And he suddenly looks a little bit uncomfortable just being the third wheel all of a sudden. So
I just pat him on the shoulder. Yeah, I know. You don't want to be the third person. You can join. Just make sure you stab things when we need it.
And he says, oh, right. I meant to return this. And he takes the sword that you had given him, Vern. And he says, I hope I don't need this anytime soon. But here you are.
Okay, take it back.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna have first and try selling these silver bars first, and I'll try my luck with finding information. Meet you
Wait,
guys
what?
there.
What is it that you're going to try and do?
Sell the silver bars that we all have in our bags.
Oh, well, they don't buy them here at the pub.
No, outside.
You just mean along the way to
Yeah.
Troll Skull
Yeah,
Alley?
we probably should exchange these. We needed to exchange gold to dragons or whatever it is they use around.
All right. So this area here, if you look at the northeast part of the map, I just put on here Troll Skull Alley. Yep.
There it is.
Yep. And it's more or less going to be... let's see if I can do this as well. There you go. This area is more or less Troll Skull Alley.
So hang on, before we leave, did Volo remember who beat at the auction?
He says, I don't remember the chap, but he seemed a bit run down about it. Nonetheless, I was able to obtain the place through my first payment of the sales of my Enchiridion. Oh! And he goes, you guys haven't seen that yet, have you? You know what? For such good job, I'll give each of you a copy as well. It's quite the sensation. He looks very pleased with himself at this. And, in fact...
So we have to get this and hold it on to it?
You now get Volo's Enchiridion, Waterdeep Enchiridion, which actually is very long.
How long is it?
It's multiple handouts. I gave you the first one. I think it's like a long history in brief. It's actually like for us, it's more of a pamphlet. For your characters, it's an actual book.
Okay.
And it's hardcover. And it looks rather handsome. It looks well done. You know, looks like he did a pretty decent job. But if you want to learn things about the city, this should, I think, tell you just about everything there is about it. Let's do this. Show to everyone the wards. Oh my gosh, there's so much in the Enchiridion.
It would be so helpful if they actually had a method of, multi-selecting stuff.
We'll show this to everyone here. And I think that there's one more. Yep, there we go. Show to players. There. So, yeah, this is really weird because I don't know. I've played with Kashka in Tomb of Annihilation, and usually you get like a handout with a picture, maybe a few words, but this is like, here, give your players a book. Or you have the option to, at least. But
It would have helped if they actually did give just a book.
now there is more to it than that, but at this point, that's all I'm going to give you. He'll say, "This is my book. I've got a sequel to it coming out shortly, and this is what I'm waiting on right now. Why I'm a little bit short of cash. Plus, I was working on my other book, Spectral. What was it? Volo's Guide to Spirits and Spectres. It's sure to be a thriller." And he just really does this stupid flair, like, "Oh, really, you went there?" type thing. And obviously there's like no response, and he just kind of... Well, anyway,
I like spirit fingers.
What's that?
Did you give us spirit fingers?
Yeah.
I like spirit fingers.
Yep. He says, "Well, anyway, it's a work in progress, and I'm still waiting for the rest of the funds to come through for that. So, anyway, I hope you enjoy Troll Skull Alley, and if you do find it agreeable, then we can arrange for a magistrate to sign over the deed in the morning." And he goes back to talking to Flume. Fussing over him.
Okay.
And Floon seems to be just taking it all in.
Okay, off we go then, people. Let's get a move on.
Okay. So, are you taking the most direct route? Are you making any stops along the way? I think
Vern kind of wanders off slightly from the group here and there.
I think Robin said that you wanted to stop off and sell some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Did I tell you the value of those silver bars?
I think you said
Not
it
that I'm aware of.
was 1,000 gold.
Ha ha ha. I'm pretty sure I did tell you guys that. Didn't I? We make a quest log. Let's see. Silver. It'd be nice if there was a... Can I do a Control F? Nope, that doesn't work. Okay. Stuff killed. Blah, blah, blah.
Nope.
Wow, this hasn't been updated in a while. All right.
We're bad with updating our journal.
Yeah, no, I didn't get the amount. We just got 15 silver bars split among everybody, but there was no amount.
All right. Do you remember where they came from?
Yes, they were in the
Hidden room in the
warehouse.
house.
Ah. Aha. All right. I'll work through that. Excuse me.
Yeah, we can figure all that out after.
All right. So, Raynor would be happy to guide you to Troll Skull Alley, so you don't need to like use your map per se and look like tourists in the city. But he would just pretty much take you down there, and let's see if I can actually get you to Troll Skull Alley. I think that would work. Hoi. And let's see if I can bring you guys over here. Are you here? Yeah, you're here. You're not exactly in the right place where you'd be entering, per se. You'd probably be entering on the west side. West side.
Wait, why is it dark?
It shouldn't be dark. Hold on a second here. Let me click on different things. I'm on the wrong layer. Hold on.
Kashko. Oh, yeah. Kashko Monkey, you guys want to also put that icon on your guys' characters?
Yeah, what is that all about?
How do I
Whenever
turn
you
off
medkit.
dynamic layers? Oh, right, yeah. That was that you got healed by the medkit. Kashka, do you know how to turn off dynamic lighting?
It's in the page setting.
Where's the page setting? Oh, dear God.
You look at the page at the top. There's a little gear icon next to it.
Page at the top, there's a gear icon next to it. Duplicate page? No, that's not it. Haha. My settings?
No, like when you're in the page bar, like to select which each of the pages has a little...
Let me take a look here. See if there's something else. No. This sucks. I don't want to just delete all the building outlines.
No. Just so when you've got the page bar open at the top.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I see the little cogwheel. Page settings. Sorry, I didn't know I had to hover over the page itself. And dynamic. There we go. And did that change?
Yep, that changed.
Oh yeah. I see all the things.
Yeah, I see a person in a building. I see
That.
another person in a building.
Yeah. So those are basically going to be neighbors, per se. Right here is Troll Skull Manor. And you guys are actually coming in from the west, over here, down by Bookworm's Treasure. So let me grab all of you, put you down there. There you go. And these are the different buildings that you come by in the area along there. There's Bookworm's Treasure, Tiger's Eye further down. Troll Skull Manor is here, and it actually looks quite impressive. It's a multiple story manor house, and probably a little bit more impressive than you guys expected. It does look a little bit in disrepair, which, that was to be expected. It's been abandoned for some time. But
I kind of arrived a little later than the rest of the group. Can I use one of my background abilities to help get information on the manor, though?
like what?
That.
Ear to the ground. You are in frequent contact with people in the segment of society that your chosen quarries move through. These people might be associated with the criminal underworld, the rough and tumble folk of the streets, or members of high society. This connection comes in the form of a contact in any city you visit, a person who provides information about the people and places of the local area. Okay, that probably would have been someone that you had met in the Yawning Portal, your contact. And they would not have any immediate information on Troll Skull Manor. They might be able to look into it for you, and it would take them a few days to get accurate information.
I'm adding in the whoever got, the other person who's bidding as well on the list of information gathering.
Gotcha. All right. So let's see if we can do this here. And I think I need this as well. Here we go. So what did you guys want to do? You've entered down here. You see that there are shops nearby. You see it at the, down the street. Where'd you want to go? And Raynor pretty much says, I think it's down here. And your map pretty much, had been marked on it by Volo exactly where it was, so you know the building itself. And then at that point, you probably have to look at the map to find it exactly.
I want to look in the windows of all these shops.
Okay. So let's see. The place that you're passing by first, Bookworm's Treasure. Let's see that here. Front of the bookstore is adorned with a charming side of a gold dragon curled around a treasure hoard of books and scrolls. There is a window, and you can see that inside it's decorated with a very beautiful hardwood, and seems to be filled with a library of sorts. Multiple stories, it would appear, and seems to contain more shelves than the building can somehow hold. And you actually can, if you really peer in, like you're like at the window looking through everything, you can probably see that there is a dragonborn that seems to be tending shop.
Of course, by worms, yes. Sorry. Did a cat jump up on the desk and not very gracefully. Okay, well, I
bad smoke.
And I'm like, yeah. I elbow smoke and I point. I said, "Do you want to take your book in there while we're here?" He wants to take a spell book in there, see what it is.
Okay. So are the rest of you following it?
Yep.
Sure.
Raynor would gladly just follow along with you guys for now. He seems just fine to pass the time in this way. He's not in any immediate, rush or anything. But, so, let's see here. I just scrolled away from it. Here we go. Once you enter in, you get, like, the earthy scent of old books. Just that smell. A little bit of a mustiness about it, but it's still, like, the good old pages. It's what you smell throughout the entire place. And you can see at least one stairway going up in the building. And upon entering, a little bell goes ding-a-ling, and you probably notice it's a very handsome little bell attached to the door itself that's hooked up. And there's a gold-skinned dragonborn looks up and says, hold on one second, see if he says anything. Welcome, my friends, to Bookworm's Treasure. How may I be of assistance? Did you want to just peruse?
Actually, I got this book off of this ugly thing that had flaming hands, and I want to know what it is.
Oh. It's not dangerous, is it? I'd rather not deal with dangerous items in the building.
I don't know. It's a book. It has words, you tell me.
Well, if you'd like me to identify such items, there is a fee at that.
Okay, I'm sure someone here has money.
Raynor says, I haven't had time to stop off to pick some up.
Well, I don't know. I don't carry cash, so like, how much is it?
He says, well, my services to identify the item would be 150 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Oh God.
Maybe. Jesus. I'll just set it on fire somewhere.
He says, well, if you do change your mind, please feel free to come back.
While they're talking, I'm going to cast Detect Magic and scan around the shelves.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Da, 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 da. Okay. I don't know if this is going to show up in chat or not, so if it does, don't worry about it. No, it doesn't. Okay. So upon you doing that, he notices straight away, just like locks onto you and gives you this look. I beg your pardon. And what do you do?
I say, no problem.
Do you continue?
You're excused. And yes, I do continue.
He says, I would ask that you do not cast magical incantations within the bounds. And he kind of gives you a look over and says, you're not part of the Mage Guild, are you?
I look at Raina and I go like...
And Raynor says, and Raynor actually looks at you and does the same look and says, no, I believe she's not. You might want to get that remedied. And he kind of like steps a little bit between you two and kind of like turns his back to the shopkeep a little bit, who doesn't seem to be bothered that it's Raynor, Neverember, as much. And he says, it's generally frowned upon to use magic and not be part of the Mage Guild. Most guilds in Waterdeep are people you want to get along with, or else it makes getting along with them very difficult. It can have a lot of benefits, but I'd recommend you get that taken care of. And he says, I'm not trying to be mean, just helpful. And he kind of just walks away and says, good day to you, sir. And just kind of like walks over and starts like flipping through some of the pages and books and stuff.
I leave.
Okay. You did get
I'm
a brief...
gonna glare at him on the way out. The shopkeep. I just kind of like... I like set my jaw and glare at him. You know.
You did get a brief glow of a lot of stuff in there, especially on the Dragonborn.
Okay.
Like, he was glowing and kind of distracting you from a lot of the other stuff. a lot, not himself, but a lot of just things on him, perhaps.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, yeah, I guess we'll head back out and head on down the road.
Okay. And I'll let you guys move yourselves. Next, you pass by some rather mundane buildings looking like perhaps residences, and then it's dotted with different buildings. In this case, you've got the Tiger's Eye, which comes up next.
Which is?
It's rather unremarkable looking, but it's a orange and black sign featuring a cat's eyes, and there's no window on the front.
I want to go in.
I know you do.
And Raynor says, I'm not familiar with this place here.
Well, I'm just pointing at Smoke. He's just walking. I'm like, I guess we should go.
All right. So, you enter in, and the door doesn't have any kind of like jingle or anything like that. It opens freely, and by opening it, it actually makes a really loud
No need for a bell for that.
Right. Upon you opening the door. And hold on a second. Let's see. Oh, no, wait. I apologize. The door is locked. And there is actually a bell outside on the wall next to it. I misread paragraphs. I apologize.
I'm assuming you're reading the next thing.
I'm reading the bell.
All right. And after waiting a few moments, you hear the door unlock, and it opens up. And there's a human at the door that says, "Yes? May I help you?" And he just kind of sticks his head out. He doesn't actually open the door, but it did actually go when he opened the door a bit. So,
What is this place? I want to come in.
he kind of looks you guys all up and down and says, "All right." And he opens the door and says, "Come on in." And he's dressed in a very sharp suit, and has a pipe in his other hand, a very slim, long pipe. And he says, "My name is Vincent Trench." And let's see. He says, "I basically run a detective agency here. So if there's something you need, I might be able to find out. Somebody you need dirt on. Or you just need to find out if someone's telling the truth." He says, "If you have an interest..."
Oh my god, we found a PI.
He says, "My standard fee is 50 gold. And I often don't have people accept on the first visit. But if you change your mind..." And he just kind of takes over this little trinket and holds it up. And it looks like the sign he had out front with the eyes. And says, "Just, come on back." And he just hands it out, like expects somebody to take it.
I'll take it.
Okay. Upon taking it in your hand, it looks like it's just like a cheap kind of metal calling card of sorts. And like a business card, more or less. He says,
I just nod my head and tell him, "Okay, well, maybe we'll need you in the future. We'll be neighbors soon, so it's okay."
He says, "Neighbors? Where at?"
Troll Skull Manor, I say.
Oh.
Look at him when I say.
And
really close.
he kind of lights up and says, "That's a very close neighbor. Interesting. What led you to come to this place?" And he seems really intent on, like, all of a sudden he wants to ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, I'm not interested in sharing lots of information.
But he's interested in asking questions nonetheless. So he's asking, how did you come to this place? Are you the new owners? Are you moving in?
Potentially.
Yes, we're potentially the new owners. We have acquired this new place, and we are going to check it out. Do you have any information on the manor, who owned it? Why has it been kind of empty for?
He says, "Well, I'd be glad to look into that for you." Of course.
Of course you would. I just turn around and kind of kind of shove everybody out the door like children. "Come on now, let's go."
He says, "Before you go, I've told you my name. Might I have yours?"
Nope. Bye.
And he just kind of gives you this, like, "That was rude" look.
I just tell him, I was like, "My name is Natea. This is Smoke."
Burn.
And then, and then I point and just tell everybody. I said, "And you know who this is?" And I point at Rainer because everybody knows who this guy is.
And he says, "Of course, Rainer Neverember." And he does like a kind of like just a nod more than anything, and Rainer just kind of returns the nod. And
so there's like a recognition, like they've met before.
No, just seems like he didn't bow or curtsy like a lot of the other people did.
Oh, right. Okay.
And Rainer seemed to respond to that a little bit better.
I just looked. I was like, "Look, Rainer, somebody who doesn't worship your feet. Let's go." I just walk out the door. I was like, we'll see you soon, I'm sure. Have a good evening.
And Raynor actually, before he goes, reaches over and takes one of those little trinkets that he handed to Vern. And he just kind of looks at him and then just kind of like walks out with you guys. And Vern, you notice you're about to put the trinket like in a pocket or something like that, and the backside felt a little bit like not as smooth as you'd expected. And you actually look briefly before you put it away, and the back is actually pretty cute. It has like this little tiny map of Troll Skull Alley with like little tiger's eyes dotted where his place is.
Okay then.
So it is kind of like a little bit of a calling card, you know, so you can remember and come back. Anyway.
Hey, it's Mizo, and I'm not ever going to use him.
Whatever. Maybe he's going to be your new contact. Who knows?
I ain't paying him.
Alright, I guess we'll walk out and start heading down the way here towards our new potential.
Okay. Upon you guys leaving, the door closes and you hear click, click behind you. And you come up to Troll Skull Manor.
Fort Knox over there. He's got all the secrets hidden in there.
Excuse me. So I think I've got a handout for this place. The scroll itself, where's that handout? There it is. The scroll itself actually had a floor plan. So there you go. Which let's enlarge it for the viewers out here. It's pretty good size. You've got, 3 floors plus an attic area and a cellar.
I think I know what I'm building for one of the servers randomly.
So let's see if it's got some kind of description. 4 stories tall, boasting balconies, a turret, 5 chimneys. It's an abandoned building. Looks like it could use some work, but it also looks like it could be really amazing.
Maybe we can open our own business in here. I'll get the keys out and unlock the front door and start going in.
As you're getting the keys out, Raynor says, I remember this place. I think it was a pub once. I remember my father taking me through this area before. And he looks back over at the Tiger's Eye, and then he looks back at the manor as you're like starting to unlock the door. He says, "Yes. I think this was quite a nice pub, actually. Yes."
Well, who knows? Maybe we can make money while we live here.
I cast Detect Magic again.
Okay. So you don't get any immediate magic in the area.
Okay. Cute.
I just grab one of my daggers, just have it at hand.
Okay. So the windows are boarded up from the inside. A little bit strange, but
They still have glass in them, so?
It looks like most of them do.
Okay.
And oh no, wait. Actually, I think that most of them are shuttered from the outside, and some of the shutters that have like started to fall away or something like that. You see that there might be glass on the other side, might be broken, might be good, but you can also see that it looks like there might be some boards on the inside as well. So it's dark in here. So what we're gonna do is take you guys over here to Troll Skull Manor. And I think...
Damn, I'm bottom left.
Yeah, you're at the bottom left in here. At the first floor.
I see.
Now, the first explorer, we can explore it. But then after that, I don't think we'll need to. Because, you'll have explored it. So, What you guys want to do?
I guess I'll be the first to walk in.
Okay,
And-
so that's actually in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And oh, right. Sorry, I forgot dynamic lighting. Let's take the door away. There you go.
Thank you. Obviously, I turn on my lantern again.
Yep. And let's see. When you first
What's the
arrive,
radius on the lantern?
it'll be enough to fill up the light in this room. I think he's got like 30 foot or something like that.
Most of the room actually is visible to me.
Hold on a second. Oh, it's only visible to you? Hold on.
I'm not sure.
I can
it
find out.
It should. If you can make it visible to everyone, that would be nice.
Well, everybody should be able to see just as easily, just from their perspective right now.
Well, more or less,
Yeah.
it's because the fact of if theirs overlaps mine, they actually have a wider view compared to what they see on theirs
Right.
at the moment.
Right. I mean, basically, everybody can see in the dark but you. And Raynor, who is standing right next to you the whole time, pretty much. So you using the lantern grants you vision. Everyone else already has vision. So,
Does Raynor have like a ring on? I'm sure he does, right?
yeah, probably.
Okay. Raynor, can I see one of your just regular rings for a minute? You'll get it right back.
And he try. Actually, let me give you a quick description of what you see upon walking in.
Okay.
You walk in, and the tap room is filled with broken furniture, tarnished silverware, casks of wine that look like they're very well aged, and a lot of worthless detritus. And that's pretty much what you see in here. Basically, an old abandoned pub of sorts. So he kind of like gives you this look, like, I beg your pardon.
I said, just hand me your ring. You're gonna get it right back. It's not gonna get broken or anything.
And he says, might I ask what you intend on using it for?
Well, you can't see in the dark. We can, so I'm gonna help you out.
He says, very well, and he just holds his
Without
hand.
your hand. I'll
He
touch
holds
the
his
ring.
he holds his hand out with the ring and says, it's been there for a long time. It doesn't come off very easily.
It's fine. I'll just put my hand on it, and I'll use my light cantrip, and he can see 20-foot radius bright, 20-foot radius.
And he goes, oh, that's ever so kind of you. Thank you.
There you go. So now everybody can see everything.
Cool.
Considering I have a lamp, it's not really that bad.
Yeah, he's still going to stick next to Vern, but it does help him if he like turns around and wants to see something, or there's a shadow between the two of you or something. So, you guys are in.
Yeah.
Pretty shabby place.
I'm like, well, it's pretty messy in here. Obviously, it's been quite empty for a while.
There's cobwebs and stuff like that, and you can see that Raynor seems to be like putting his hands on like walls, support beams. He seems to be ignoring all the junk around the room.
I'm gonna walk behind the bar over here.
Wait, what's that?
That is something I need to actually show you. Hold on. See if I can actually do both of these. Yes, I
Just
can.
kind of like not step. Just put one foot on it, like tapping on it. See if it's gonna give or anything.
I think I can do this. There we go. Does that help explain any? I don't know if you guys can see it. Or did you just see an arrow appear and that's about it?
I didn't see anything.
Nah, you can't see it.
Didn't
All right,
know anything.
that seems to be a hatch to the cellar.
Oh, okay.
Do we want to go down there or do we want to go up first? Maybe there's spooky, scary stuff and treasures down here.
Detect magic.
You get nothing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna pull open, see if I can pull the door open.
It is unlocked. There seems to be a very like loose latch that wasn't even latched. It's just like a little sliding, like a little sliding deadbolt type thing on it. But that wasn't even latched, so you're able to just lift it up. It makes a little tiny creak, and it goes down into what looks like a cellar.
Do you think there's one of those entrances down there?
Could be. Pulled out the whatchamacallit. The oh no, you have that plan. Never mind.
I'll just I guess I'm just gonna slowly
Tap
go
around.
down there. Why not? I mean, what could possibly go wrong into an abandoned cellar?
Map layer. There we go. All right, so you're going to go down into the basement?
Yep, I'll go down.
Okay. You now appear down here.
I'm gonna follow as well.
Okay. Boop. Anybody else?
I'm kind of wandering around upstairs, kind of questioning where were the stairs.
Smoke
Stairs
is following.
are
I think
actually...
they're over here.
Yep.
Outside.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's the outside staircase. I'm not going down that cellar. Seems like a death trap.
And down there you see basically some old like casks and stuff like that. And you think that there might actually be some liquid in some of them. Whether or not they're still good, you don't know. But there also seems to be some rats scattering here and there.
You know what I'm
I'm
gonna
just-
do, right?
I just look around. I'm like, well, this is gonna probably take a little bit more time than what we have right now. So let's go finish looking around upstairs. I'm just gonna go back up.
Okay. I'll drag you back. Hui.
Before I leave, I'm just gonna give it a quick sweep with the
Nope.
magic detections and okay. And then I'll go back up as well.
There you go.
Okay.
You just see me expecting chairs.
And
Okay, I just say, yes, those are chairs.
Rainer actually at this point says, this place seems to be in pretty good condition, actually. I would estimate wouldn't take very much to get this place back on its feet if you really wanted to turn it back into a pub.
Yeah, maybe we can hire old Volo to, come and bartend for us.
And he
And
says
Floon can dance or something. Play music. Who knows what Floon can do?
he at this point says, if I think that if I were you, I'd take the place for myself and just use him as a go-between to get the work done on it. He's a rather well-connected man, and I don't see any harm in that, but he offered you this place straight up, and all I can see of it is probably profit but you're going to have to put a little bit into it, I'm sure.
You have an idea of how much it could cost?
I haven't seen the rest of the floors, but this would be the main area that you'd end up be doing your business. There would be monthly fees involved for probably arranging things with the local guilds, getting supplies, employees to
just
run the
for-
place for you.
Well, just for the repairs. Do you have an idea how much that might cost?
Like I said, I'd probably have to see the rest of it because there could be water damage up above.
Well, mainly down here, though.
Down here, I don't know, maybe close to 1,000.
Let's continue to look around, see what else we can find, and we'll figure it out.
He says, on the plus side, it looks like it's mostly superficial. Some of these windows appear like they still have taken some damage. But I imagine that probably be not too bad to take care of.
I'm gonna go back here and check out this
The
back
kitchen.
room. Sure.
Okay. There's remnants of basically a once aged kitchen. Some broken spoons and an old rusted pot sitting in the corner. Lots of spider webs. Whoa! Are you having fun? It's still pitch black in here. You haven't actually... whoever sealed up the windows seems to have done a good job of it. The boards don't seem particularly like nailed in place, just set up, and then there's the shutters on the windows.
I'm gonna go find the stairs to the next floor and just look around, still trying to figure out why they would have just left this place like.
And then with that, Rainer said, I think the stairs, Vern had it right with them being outside, which makes sense because, that's usually the living area and you don't want drunken patrons wandering in through some door. Does anybody want to go in there?
Yep.
I'm going up.
Right, so,
I'm going to try this
Vern...
back
Hui.
as well.
What's that?
I'm going to try this door at the back.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Here, I gotta scroll. Blah.
Is that a door right in front of us?
Yep, hold on. I'm going to
Okay.
fix that in a moment. I've got multiple people doing things. Dynamic lighting. Click. Delete. There you go.
Oh my god, there's a cat ahead of me.
That is actually a boarded up window.
No,
Oh, it's
this is
not
a
a
cat.
Not you. It's talking to Griffola.
All right, then I follow the rest of them outside.
All right. And then everybody is coming through this area here.
Okay.
Which, if you look at the floor plan, makes a little bit more sense because it's an external stairway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody spread out and just start looking.
And it's a lot of the same. I'll actually start removing some of the... Let's see, this is a door
Bang.
here. This is a door here.
that-
Grifola's
hallway?
at a door. Yep, that's a
That's a
hall.
hallway.
Yep.
It's like a balcony or something.
Out there, yes. There is a little balcony.
Doors
Looks like
there?
there was once like a little gardeny type bit set along there. There is a door here. Hui.
Thank you.
That goes out to the balcony. It looks like it's a bit fragile out there. Actually, you're not sure if it's going to hold your full weight the entire time. You walk out, a little bit of stuff goes. You're like, oh.
And yeah, I step back in. Not going out there yet.
Okay. Grifola is at a door. There you go. Looks like there's, sealed up windows in all these places. These ones actually don't have, they're not sealed on the inside. They're just got shutters on the outside.
I'm heading upstairs.
Okay. And of course, there's another balcony there. And there's a balcony way back here. I don't know that you guys can actually see. Here, I will show.
Right here.
Yep. That was another balcony there. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the handout.
All right. And then you all go upstairs. Over here.
Hey, that wasn't that far of a jump.
And you found the bathroom, Robin.
No, not that door, the other door.
You've also found the private bath.
I love how I discovered the bathroom without even looking for the bathroom.
All right. And this is another toilet or privy.
Over here.
That
Over
leads to the master bedroom.
One of those things.
Grifola, you found a bedroom. And Vern, you
I
found
found
Grifola.
And that's
Once again, all the windows up here don't seem to be boarded up. They seem to just be shuttered. And in some cases, you can actually see some slivers of light coming through. Hold on.
Is there any furniture, or it's just?
It's just broken, scattered stuff, really. It looks like on the floor below, like the bigger room, the common room, it looks like it was used to house people at some point.
What, like there's like
Like there was some
bedrolls
broken. There was several broken cots were all lined up and stuff. It looks like
Right.
most of the cloth had broken away.
in the common? Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
There you
in
go.
the common.
Yeah.
Can I do a perception check to see if it was broken by combat or just fell apart by age?
Sure. Actually, why don't you make... yeah, just make a perception. We'll just do that. Yeah, it looks like just everything is aged.
Was there any
Aged or wear.
Was there any type of candle holders or such in the house?
There was some tarnished silverware down on the ground floor.
Well, I mean up top, on the second floor and third floor, like types of things to have for lighting.
No, not really. I mean, you might see some like candles, some of those like sconces on the wall that you could put candles and torches on.
That's the name.
But they didn't have any in them.
Oh,
Yeah,
I wasn't
I'll
asking
just
for the
open
candle,
some
but the
shutters.
holders.
I'm gonna start opening shutters so that the light will come in.
Okay, the first shutter you open immediately slams shut.
Detect magic.
You get nothing. And right there is where we're going to stop.
I told you it was haunted.
Definitely.
All right, so welcome everybody to Troll Skull Manor. I hope you enjoy your new home. Anyway, that was pretty much it. Congratulations on level 2, everybody.
One thing before we end the session.
Yeah.
How much does the candle cost?
How much does a candle cost?
Yes.
You can look that up in the player's handbook.
Okay, fine.
I think it's like copper pieces or something like that. So, what if I were you? I would look into like ever burning torches or something.
Hey, Smoke, remember that candle you have?
Yeah, it doesn't light.
The candle of unlighting. Oh, that's good. All right. So, there you go, folks. Tune in next time for a little bit more exploration of Troll Skull Manor and find out what goes on with this group of adventurers and their new neighbors. Anyway, don't be afraid to
Managed to piss him off.
give a follow on the channel. And as usual, we might be doing more Dungeons and Dragons of Tomb of Annihilation, a little cross promotion, where Kashka is the way over there is the dungeon master for that campaign. So, and that's usually on Sundays. So I'll see you guys again soon. Anyway, meow. Bye, everybody.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.